As we prepare for new content at Disney Dreamlight Valley, I figured not everyone has the recipe books completed. So do you have them completed? I made Eternity Isle recipes and Storybook Vale recipe videos, so I thought my recipe books cannot be completed without making one for all the main valley recipes. So get your pot hot and ready as we start with all our appetizers. And by the way, I have shortcuts for all the recipes in the description below, so feel free to use them. Okay, so let's start with the Arendellian pickled herring, which you will need 1 herring, 1 lemon, 1 onion, 1 garlic, and any spice. Then we have bell pepper puffs. You will need bell pepper, of course, then eggs and 1 cheese. Then we have buñuelos, and you will need wheat, 1 cheese, 1 milk, and 1 egg. Continuing with the cheese platter, that only needs 1 cheese. I wish it was this easy. Then the red hot chili pepper puffs. So you will need chili peppers, 1 egg, and 1 cheese. Then we have chrysanthemum tea. I'm not sure that's how you pronounce it, but yes. So we need 1 chrysanthemum tea leaf and 1 blueberry. Then we have coffee, which only needs 1 coffee bean. Then crackers, just 1 of any grain. Then we have creamy soup, which needs any spice, 1 milk, 1 potato, and 1 of any vegetable. Then we have crudités, that needs just 1 of any vegetable, so bell pepper, carrot, cucumber, mushroom, or zucchini. Then we have Dream Fizz, which you will need Dreamlight, fruit, sugarcane, wheat, and 1 slush ice. Then we have Eggplant Puffs, which needs just 1 eggplant, 1 egg, and 1 cheese. Then for French fries, you will only need 1 canola and 1 potato. For gazpacho, you will need 1 cucumber, 1 tomato, 1 onion, and 1 of any spice. Then we have green salad, which only needs 1 of any vegetable and lettuce. Then we have grilled vegetables, which it could be 1 of any vegetable, so asparagus, bamboo, broccoli, cabbage, celery, chili pepper, corn, eggplant, or any of those. Continuing with grilled veggie platter, which need 3 vegetables of any kind. Then we have hard-boiled eggs, and yes, it only needs 1 egg. Then for jasmine tea, we need 1 jasmine tea leaf and 1 sugarcane. Then we have, oh my god, Woody, what do you want? Oh, okay, fine, I forgive you. Then large seafood platter, which needs 4 seafood of any kind and 1 lemon. Then for the latte, we have 1 coffee bean and 1 milk. Very accurate. Then for the mocha, another accurate one, we need coffee bean, 1 milk, and 1 cocoa bean. Then we have okra soup, which needs only 1 okra. Then for onion puffs, we only need 1 onion, 1 egg, and 1 cheese. For the oolong tea, we need 1 oolong tea leaf and 1 raspberry. We have Oyster Platter, which needs 1 oyster and 1 lemon. Then we have Peppermint Tea, which needs 1 lemon and 1 mint, of course. Then 1 pickled herring, which only needs 1 herring, 1 lemon, 1 onion, and 1 of any spice. For the potato leek soup, we need 1 leek, 1 potato, 1 milk, 1 onion, and 1 garlic. Continuing with potato puffs, which need 1 potato, 1 egg, and 1 cheese. Then for the pottage, you need 1 potato, 1 of any spice, and 1 of any vegetable. Then for our favorite pumpkin puffs, we need 1 pumpkin, 1 egg, and 1 cheese. For the pumpkin soup, we need 1 of any vegetable, 1 milk, 1 ginger, and 1 pumpkin. You can do puree with 1 potato. For the roasted asparagus, you only need 1 asparagus and 1 canola. For the salad, you only need 1 lettuce. Continuing with sautéed mushrooms, you need 1 mushroom and 1 butter. For the seafood appetizer, you only need 1 seafood of any kind. Then the seafood platter, you will need 2 of any seafood. For the sesame balls, you need 1 wheat, 1 ginger, rice, soya, and 1 seaweed. That's a big one. Continuing with the soufflé, you need 1 cheese, 1 egg, 1 milk, and 1 butter. Sounds very delicious, honestly. Then for the sweet herring, you only need 1 herring and 1 onion. Then for the tea sandwiches, you need 1 wheat, 1 corn, 1 cherry, and 1 of any fish. For the tomato soup, you only need 1 tomato. For the vegetable soup, you need 2 of any vegetable. If you want to do the zucchini puffs, you need 1 zucchini, 1 egg, and 1 cheese. Woody, not again, Woody. What do you need now? Oh my god, okay, fine. I forgive you again. That is all our appetizers, but next we have our awesome entrees. Starting with Apple-Cider-Glazed Salmon. Oh, delicious. We have 1 salmon, 1 sugarcane, and 1 apple. For the baked carp, we need 1 carp and 1 butter. If you want the Basil Omelet, you will need 1 basil, 1 egg, 1 cheese, and 1 milk. For the bouillabaisse, I'm sure this is not how you pronounce it, but you will need 1 seafood, actually 2 seafoods of any kind, then 1 shrimp, 1 tomato, and any vegetable. For the Brandade de Morue, you need 1 cod, 1 potato, 1 milk, 1 lemon, and 1 garlic. If you want to make a carp salad, you only need 1 carp, 1 lemon, and 1 lettuce. For the cheesy, crispy baked cod, you need 1 cod, 1 wheat, and 1 cheese. If you want to make a delicious chowder, you only need 1 seafood of any kind, 1 milk, 1 potato, and any vegetable. For the creamy garlic escalopes, you need 1 escalope, 1 lemon, 1 butter, and 1 garlic. For the crispy baked cod, you need 1 cod and 1 wheat. If you want to make a fish creole, yeah, that one. You need 1 fish, 1 vegetable, 1 garlic, 1 rice, and 1 tomato.
Whoops! It looks like it's time for dinner.
For the fish and chips, very popular, you need 1 fish of any kind, 1 wheat, 1 canola, and 1 potato. If you want fish pasta instead, you need 1 of any fish, 1 garlic, 1 wheat, and 1 milk. For the fish pie, you can do any fish, 1 wheat, and 1 butter. For the fish risotto, you need any fish, 1 rice, and 1 butter. For a fish salad, a lot of fish stuff around here. You need 1 fish, 1 lemon, and 1 lettuce. But if you want to make it a sandwich instead, you need 1 fish and 1 wheat. But if you wanted a soup instead, for the fish soup, you need any fish, any vegetable, and 1 milk. For a fish steak, you need 1 of any fish, 1 tomato, and 1 basil. If you prefer tacos, you can also make fish tacos with 1 of any fish, 1 corn, 1 chili pepper, of course it had to have chili, and 1 cheese. For the fugu sushi, oh my god, that's so hard to get. You need 1 fugu, 1 rice, and 1 seaweed. If you want a ghostly fish steak, you will need 1 here and there fish, 1 lemon, 1 asparagus, 1 bell pepper, and 1 oregano. For the Greek pizza, you will need 1 of any spice, 1 tomato, 1 onion, and 1 cheese, and 1 wheat. For the grilled fish, very easy, just 1 of any fish. For the grilled fish entree, you need 1 fish and just add 1 vegetable. For our Princess Tiana's favorite, gumbo, you need 1 okra, 1 shrimp, 1 chili pepper, 1 tomato, and 1 onion. This is not a secret recipe anymore. For the hearty salad, you need 1 vegetable, 1 lettuce, and 1 of any other vegetable. For the horse de vrai, is that how you say it? Yeah, horse de vres, whatever. And you only need 1 spice. For kapamaki, you need seaweed, 1 cucumber, and 1 rice. If you want to make Kronk's spinach puffs, you need 1 spinach, 1 cheese, and 1 canola. For the lancet fish paella, you only need 1 lancet fish, 1 shrimp, 1 of any other seafood, 1 tomato, and 1 rice. If you want to make latte cakes, you will need 1 onion, 1 potato, 1 canola, and 1 egg. For the leek soup, you only need 1 leek. Very easy. For the lemon garlic swordfish, you need 1 swordfish, of course, 1 garlic, and lemon. If you want instead a lioness feast, you will need 1 mushroom, 1 tomato, 1 oregano, and 1 here and there fish. For a lobster roll, you need 1 lobster, 1 wheat, 1 lemon, and 1 butter. Oh wait, no, also 1 garlic. For the maguro sushi, you will need 1 tuna, 1 seaweed, 1 rice, and 1 ginger. For the maki, you will only need 1 of any fish, 1 seaweed, and 1 rice. For the margarita pizza, you will need 1 of any spice, 1 tomato, 1 cheese, and 1 wheat. For the marvelous jam, you will need 1 Dreamlight fruit and 1 wheat. For the Mediterranean salad, you will need 1 cucumber, 1 tomato, 1 onion, 1 lettuce, and 1 of any spice. Very delicious. For the mushroom pizza, you need 1 mushroom, of course. You need 1 wheat, you need 1 tomato, and 1 cheese. For mushu congee, the best congee ever, you will need 1 rice, 1 egg, 1 mushroom, 1 garlic, and 1 ginger. If you want to make nachos for your party, you can do 1 chili pepper, 1 corn, and 1 cheese. For a normal omelette, you will need just 1 egg, 1 cheese, and 1 milk. For a pan-fried anglerfish, you can do 1 anglerfish, 1 tomato, 1 zucchini, and 1 potato. For a pan-seared bass and vegetables, so fancy, you can do 1 bass, 1 of any vegetable, actually 2 of any vegetables. For a pan-seared tilapia and vegetables, you need 1 tilapia and 2 of any vegetables. For a pasta, you only need 1 wheat and 1 tomato. For the peanut butter sandwich, you only need 1 peanut and 1 wheat. If you want a pesto with linguine, you need 1 wheat, 1 butter, 1 garlic, and 1 oregano. For a normal pizza, you only need 1 tomato, 1 cheese, and 1 wheat. For a poached basil butter sturgeon, you need 1 white sturgeon, 1 basil, 1 lemon, and 1 butter. For a poutine, you will need 1 potato, 1 canola, and 1 cheese. For a ranch salad, you need 1 lettuce, 1 bell pepper, 1 corn, 1 tomato, and 1 onion. For a ratatouille, you will need 1 tomato, 1 eggplant, 1 onion, 1 zucchini, and 1 of any spice. Secret recipe? No, not anymore. For this sake maki, you will need 1 rice, 1 seaweed, and 1 salmon. For the sake sushi, you will need 1 salmon and 1 rice. If you want a savory fish, you only need 1 of any fish and 1 lemon. If you want a scrambled egg, you will need 1 egg and 1 cheese. For a seafood boil, you need any seafood, any spice, 1 potato, and 1 corn. For a seafood pasta, you will need 1 seafood, 1 wheat, and 1 milk. If you want a seafood pie instead, you can do 1 of any seafood, 1 wheat, and 1 butter. For a seafood salad, you can do any seafood and 1 lettuce. If you prefer a seafood soup, you will need 1 of any seafood, 1 vegetable, actually no, 2 vegetables. If you want a seared rainbow trout, you can do 1 rainbow trout, 1 tomato, and 1 onion. If you prefer a simple fried perch, you can do 1 perch, 1 wheat, 1 butter.
Oops, is it time for dessert now?
For the smoked peanuts and anglerfish, you can do 1 anglerfish and 1 peanut. If you want a sole manure, meunier? I don't think it's manure. Yeah, if you need 1 sole, 1 wheat, 1 butter, and 1 lemon. If you want spaghetti arrabbiata, you will need 1 tomato, 1 wheat, and 1 chili pepper. For a spicy baked bream, you will need 1 bream, of course, 1 chili pepper, and 1 butter. If you want a steamed fugu, you can do 1 fugu, 1 ginger, and 1 garlic. If you want a simple sushi, you can do 1 of any fish and rice. If you want a sweet and sour kingfish steak, you can do 1 kingfish, 1 sugarcane, and 1 lemon. If you prefer something sweet with a sweet udon, you can do 1 Dreamlight fruit, 1 rice, 1 of any seafood, and 1 sweet. For a tamagoyaki, you can do 1 egg and 1 sugarcane. If you want a tasty salad, you can do 1 lettuce, 1 cucumber, 1 of any vegetable, and 1 of any spice. For tasty veggies, you can do 1 vegetable and 1 of any spice. If you want a tekkamachi, you can do 1 tuna, 1 soya, 1 seaweed, and 1 rice. If you want a teriyaki salmon, very interesting. You will do 1 soya, 1 salmon, 1 sugarcane, 1 rice, and 1 ginger. If you want a tuna burger, you can do 1 tuna, 1 onion, 1 lemon, 1 wheat, and any vegetable. For a vegetarian pizza, you can do 2 of any vegetable, 1 tomato, 1 cheese, and 1 wheat. If you prefer a vegetarian stew, you can do 1 potato, 1 carrot, and 1 onion. For a vegetarian taco, you can do 1 corn, 1 chili pepper, 1 cheese, and 1 of any vegetable. If you prefer a veggie casserole, you can do 2 of any vegetable, 1 cheese, and 1 of any spice. For a veggie pasta, you can do 1 tomato, 1 wheat, and 1 of any vegetable. If you prefer a veggie pie, you can do 1 of any vegetable, 1 butter, and 1 wheat. If you prefer your veggies on a skewer, you can do veggie skewers with 1 mushroom, 1 zucchini, 1 onion, and 1 bell pepper. For walayi papillotes, you need 1 walawi, 1 basil, 1 oregano, and 1 of any vegetable. For a wheat porridge, you will need 1 milk and 1 wheat. If you prefer a wheat porridge with fruit, so much better, you can do 1 milk, 1 wheat, and 1 of any fruit. For a wonton soup, you can do 1 egg, 1 shrimp, 1 wheat, and 1 onion. Amazing! Let's move on to our beautiful desserts, starting with my hero cookie. And you will need 1 wheat, 1 butter, and 1 of any sweets. For the apple pie, you will need 1 apple, 1 wheat, and 1 butter. If you prefer an apple sorbet, you can do 1 slush ice, 1 apple, and 1 sugarcane. If you want Aurora's cake, you need 1 wheat, 1 sugarcane, 1 egg, and 1 of any fruit, and milk. Such a beautiful cake. For banana ice cream, you can do 1 slush ice, 1 banana, 1 milk, and 1 sugarcane. For banana pie, you can do 1 banana, 1 wheat, and 1 butter. If you prefer a delicious banana split, you can do 1 slush ice, 1 banana, 1 milk, 1 sugarcane, and 1 of any sweet. For vignettes, I think so. You can do 1 canola, 1 wheat, 1 egg, and 1 sugarcane. For a delicious berry salad, you will need 1 raspberry, 1 blueberry, and 1 gooseberry. For a pretty birthday cake, you need 1 cocoa bean, 1 wheat, 1 sugarcane, 1 egg, and 1 butter. This cake is so cute. If you prefer biscuits, you can do 1 wheat, 1 sugarcane, and 1 butter. You can make a blueberry pie with blueberry, 1 wheat, and 1 butter. If you want a delicious boba tea, you need 1 sugarcane and 1 milk. I've been drinking a lot of boba tea lately. If you want a normal candy, you can just put any sweet at the pot. If you want cannoli, you only need 1 wheat, 1 cheese, 1 egg, and 1 vanilla. For caramel apples, you need 1 sugarcane and 1 apple. For a carrot cake, you need 1 carrot, 1 wheat, 1 egg, and sugarcane. For a cheesecake, you need 1 cheese, 1 wheat, 1 sugarcane, and 1 of any fruit. For a sweet cherry pie, yeah, the song, you need 1 cherry, 1 wheat, and 1 butter. For a Cheshire Cat's tail, what a weird dessert. You will need a cocoa bean, an egg, 1 wheat, and sugarcane. For delicious chocolate chip cookies, you only need 1 cocoa bean, 1 wheat, 1 sugarcane, and 1 butter. If you want chocolate ice cream, you can do 1 cocoa bean, 1 sugarcane, 1 milk, and 1 slush ice. If you want delicious chocolate waffles, you only need 1 cocoa bean, 1 wheat, 1 egg, and 1 milk. For a coconut boba tea, you need 1 sugarcane, 1 milk, and 1 coconut. Of course, coconut. If you prefer a full coconut cake, you can also do a coconut, 1 wheat, 1 egg, and 1 sugarcane. Sounds delicious. If you prefer it cold with a coconut ice cream, you can do 1 slush ice, 1 milk, 1 sugarcane, and 1 coconut. If your sweet tooth prefers a crepe, you can do 1 wheat, 1 egg, 1 milk, and 1 vanilla. You can make dream ice cream with 1 Dreamlight fruit, 1 milk, and 1 slush ice. You can make a fruit pie with 1 of any fruit, 1 wheat, and 1 butter. For a fruit salad, you can do 1 of any fruit. If you prefer your fruit on a sorbet, you can do a slush ice and 1 of any fruit. If you prefer a fruitcake instead, you can do 1 wheat and 3 of any fruits. For a garlic chocolate tart, that sounds interesting, you can do cheese, cocoa bean, garlic, egg, and 1 wheat. If you want to make a beautiful gingerbread house perfect for Christmas, you need 1 wheat, 1 ginger, 1 sugarcane, 1 vanilla, and 1 egg. This is just beautiful. For a gooseberry boba tea, you need 1 sugarcane, 1 milk, and 1 gooseberry. For gray stuff, you need 1 dairy or oil, 1 sugarcane, and 1 cocoa bean. For beautiful Halloween gingerbread cookies, perfect for the Halloween season, you need 1 wheat, 1 pumpkin, and 1 ginger. For a hot cocoa, you need 1 sugarcane, 1 milk, and 1 cocoa bean. If you want an ice cream, you can just do 1 slush ice, 1 milk, and 1 sugarcane. For jam waffles, you need 1 of any fruit, 1 wheat, 1 egg, and 1 milk. For a joyful meal, you need 1 wheat, 1 blueberry, 1 raspberry, and 1 banana. Very joyful. For a lemon sorbet, you need 1 slush ice and 1 lemon, of course. For a meringue pie, you need 1 lemon, 1 wheat, 1 egg, and 1 butter. If you want a beautiful mermaid cupcake, you can do 1 butter, 1 milk, 1 wheat, 1 sugarcane, and 1 escalope. If you want a mini cupcake, you need 1 butter, 1 milk, 1 wheat, 1 sugarcane, and 1 apple. For Minnie's gingerbread cookies, very cute, 1 wheat and 1 ginger. For mint boba tea, you definitely need mint, but also sugarcane and milk. If you want a mint candy, you only need mint and sugarcane. If you want a mint chocolate, you need a mint, 1 sugarcane, 1 butter, and 1 cocoa bean. For a mint sorbet, you need 1 slush ice and 1 mint. If you want pastéis de nata, you need 1 corn, 1 egg, 1 milk, and 1 vanilla. If you want a pastry cream and fruits, you need 3 of any fruit, 1 milk, and 1 sugarcane. For a popsicle, very fun, you can do 1 slush ice, 1 sugarcane, and 1 of any fruit. If you want peanut butter waffles, you can do 1 peanut, 1 wheat, and 1 egg, and 1 milk. For plain snow cones, you can do 1 slush ice. For Princess Aurora raspberry cupcake, you need 1 butter, 1 milk, 1 wheat, 1 sugarcane, and 1 raspberry. These cupcakes are just too cute. For a raspberry boba tea, you need 1 sugarcane, 1 milk, and 1 raspberry. If you want a red fruit sorbet, you need 1 slush ice, 1 raspberry, 1 gooseberry, and 1 sugarcane. For a delicious and beautiful red velvet, one of my favorites, you need 1 wheat, 1 cheese, 1 egg, 1 cocoa bean, and 1 vanilla. For roasted marshmallows, you need 2 pink marshmallows and 2 blue marshmallows. These are actually part of an event, so if you don't have them, you will need to wait for it to come back again. For a root beer, you only need 1 ginger, 1 sugarcane, and 1 vanilla. For a shake, you need 1 of any dairy. If you want s'mores, you need 1 pink marshmallow, 1 blue marshmallow, 1 wheat, and another wheat, so 2 wheats. And remember, if you don't have marshmallows, you'll just have to wait for the events to come back. For Snow White's gooseberry pie, we need gooseberry, 1 wheat, and 1 butter. For sour snow cones, you need 1 slush ice, 1 lemon, and 1 sugarcane. If you want a very fun Spaceship Earth cupcake, you need 1 butter, 1 milk, 1 wheat, 1 sugarcane, and 1 coconut. For a spring chocolate, you need spring vegetable, 1 sugarcane, 1 cocoa bean. And the vegetable, yeah, that it's also part of an event, so if you do not have it, you'll have to wait for it to come back. And that's true for pretty much all the spring recipes. So the spring egg bowl, which needs excellent fruit, 1 spring vegetable, 1 wild spring egg, cocoa bean, and 1 sugarcane. Also for the spring event, you have spring mimosa eggs, which need 1 spring vegetable, 1 wild spring vegetable, 1 excellent fruit, and basil. Then for the beautiful stitch cupcake, you only need 1 butter, 1 milk, 1 wheat, 1 sugarcane, and 1 blueberry. For a sweet slush, you need a slush of ice and any sweet. For a tropical pop, you need 1 slush ice, 1 of any fruit, 1 sugarcane, and 1 coconut. For a vanilla ice cream, you need 1 slush ice, 1 milk, 1 sugarcane, and 1 vanilla. For waffles, you only need 1 wheat, 1 milk, 1 egg, and 1 of any sweets. For a wedding cake, beautiful, you need 1 butter, 1 sugarcane, 1 vanilla, 1 egg, and 1 wheat. For a cute whimsical pie, you need 1 Dreamlight fruit, 1 wheat, and 1 butter. For the cute Wonderland cookies, you need 1 butter, 1 sugarcane, 1 vanilla, and 1 wheat. I love these because I was able to make my Alice in Wonderland mega belt with these and they look perfect. And finally, very festive Yule log, which you can make with wheat, 1 cocoa bean, 1 vanilla, and cherry. Those are all the recipes we have at the Valley. Let me know which one is your favorite and check my videos for all the Eternity Isle recipes and Storybook Bale recipes to finally complete your recipe book. Link in the description below, and if there are any new recipes at Wishblossom Ranch, I will also cover them, so stay tuned for that as well.